Hello, hello, hello. It's Wednesday and it is 12:30 p.m. Let's straighten myself up. Yeah, that's better. And today I am going to focus on how to plan for a great September. This is something that I do myself, not just planning my month, but I use this approach to plan anything really, and it really helps me to identify what's really important and what will likely move me towards what I want rather than just getting stuff done. It's about getting the right stuff done. So I'm going to share that with you today, and you might want to make sure that you've got a pen and something to write on, or you could do this on your laptop, I guess, because I'm going to share with you the questions that I ask myself so that you can do the same for you. So let's dive in. The first thing that you need to ask yourself is, what do you want to achieve in September? Now, I am obviously focused on sales, so I'd say make sure that however many outcomes you have for September, make sure that you actually stipulate a figure of sales for the month, because you are more likely to get the sales you want if you actually aim for a particular figure. And we've got a finite number, so if you're familiar with SMART goals, you'll know that the end of September is your deadline. So how much sales do you want to generate by the end of the month? Now, there might be other things that you would like to achieve by the end of the month too. Maybe you've got some people that you're talking with who could be potential customers, and you might want to close the deal or sign the contract or make the sale, whatever the language is that you use. Are there any other outcomes that you would like to achieve? So take your time after the Facebook Live to write down all the things that you would like to achieve in September. And once you've got your list, put them in an order of priority, because what you don't want to do is put a load of energy into something that has a little impact on your business, like maybe tidy up your office or get your accounts done or stuff like that. Whereas picking up the phone and following up people after you've given them a proposal, or making a meeting with them, going having coffee or doing networking, generating real activity that could lead to sales, is a much higher priority. So once you've got your list of outcomes, put them in an order of priority so that you know that the one that is at the top of your list is the one that will have the biggest impact on you growing your business. So that's your first thing to focus on. Now, the next thing is, for every outcome that you decide you want to achieve by the end of September, you write down all the actions that you need to take in order to make that a reality. So if you've got a goal that's quite big, for example, it might be that you've put in a proposal for a piece of work, and you know you're not going to close that contract or get that sale in September. You might have milestones along the way. So it could be, one of the milestones may be, if you've got a proposal outstanding, to get a meeting to follow that up, or to have some interaction, a Skype call or a telephone call, or at least to have some communication to see how they are doing in their decision-making process. So you sometimes don't have to achieve the whole thing in September, but with your actions, make sure that you have enough actions, or at least one action for each outcome that you can do in September. So you've got your outcomes and you have your actions. So the next thing you need to think about is what could get in the way of you taking action, carrying out those actions. What could get in the way? So And these are things typically that if you know that something is looming, or, you know, like I'm moving house, or I'm going on holiday, or somebody that works with me is going on holiday. So if you are aware of something getting in the way, then I would say you list that down. But there are also things that you may not be aware of but could happen. So say, we'll go back to the outstanding proposal. What if they say no? And it's things like that. Think of all the scenarios that would be that would stop you moving forward or would slow you down a bit. So come up with a list for each of your outcomes of what could go wrong. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to entice that into your world. It's called pre-planning, because if you understand what could go wrong, the next thing is, what could I do if that happens? So if the potential customer says no, if you're going on holiday, if something else happens, if there's a power cut, if there's a flood, if there's a hurricane, you know, whatever could get in the way, then what would you do? And having a plan B makes you so much more confident, and you may never have to use plan B, but just having the plan there, thinking, well, if this happens, I could do this and I can still move towards my goal. So that's also something to think about. And the last thing that I focus on and that you need to think about is, how committed are you to actually taking that action that you've written down for each of your outcomes and each of your actions? How committed are you? And also, how does it feel in your body? Do you feel like, yeah, I can do this, and yeah, bring it on, that kind of positive energy? Or is it like, oh, I know I need to do this, but I don't really want to, or it doesn't feel good in the body. I don't really want to pick up that phone. I don't really want to follow up that proposal in case they say no. So if you have any negative emotion in your body when you think about an action that you know would really help, then you need to change that, because the negative emotion will really get in the way of you getting a great result. So for me, that's being out of rapport with yourself. And also, there's a really simple technique that you can use that I have done in a Facebook Live. So just look in the archives and you'll find it. It's How Your Thoughts Impact on Your Results, TFAR. And if you viewed it, then just go back and refresh your memory, because if you have a negative thought in your body, that's created by a negative feeling in your body, that's triggered by a negative thought. And in that Facebook Live, I share with you how to change that negative thought into something much more helpful and supportive, so that you can move forward and take that action. So there is my 5-point plan to plan for anything, not just September. It could be for a campaign, for a proposal, for a meeting. These are all pointers that you can use to help you get a great result. Now, as always, please put any questions below and I will answer them in the stream below. And I guess in closing, I'd just say, as long as you do something each day towards your September outcomes, even if it's something small, you will create momentum. If you put energy into outcomes, it's almost impossible for you not to achieve them, because the energy keeps going into making something happen. So on that, have a fabulous September. Enjoy using the pointers that I've shared with you today, and please do ask any questions below and I'll respond to them as soon as I can. If not today, as soon as I possibly can. Anyway, take care everyone. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great rest of the week, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.